Hello everybody and welcome, my name is Garabet10 and today here on this exciting Yu-Gi-Oh video we are going to be continuing our series on how to successfully play in tournaments by going over side decking. This is something that a lot of people have trouble with from what I have seen at my locals and other places, and so I figured I would make a video about it on the different parts of what you should include in your side deck, and then also with just tips and tricks that I use to side deck that I have proven very helpful in my matchups at my locals and will hopefully help me at my regionals in a couple weeks. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So what is a side deck? Well, a side deck is a 15 card deck that you have. So you have your main deck, your extra deck, and then you have your side deck. And what happens is that side deck, in between games in the match, you get to take out cards of your main deck, put cards in from your side deck, and use those to play the game. And so why is a side deck useful? Well, let's use my Six Samurai deck for an example. So this deck is made to go first. Like every card in this deck is made to go first, to combo off and be useful. And so let's say I win the dice roll. I go first, I win. Game 2, my opponent now knows I like going first. So I need cards to stop my opponent from going first because they're going to choose to go first. So side deck, I don't play any hand traps in my main deck. So for my side deck, brings us into the first kind of cards to include would be some hand traps. So we got Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, Ghost Bell, and we have Ghost Reaper. This is starting off is my side deck for my Six Samurai deck. So I have all the hand traps that I will probably ever need. So current meta right now is Goki. What do Gokis do? Well, they search, they use card effects and need those monsters' card effects afterwards, and they special from the extra deck, and then they have some cards that will stop your hand traps from going through, so that's why you have the ghost spells. So if I'm playing Gokis, I win game 1, I know they're going first because Gokis is a going first deck, then I'm siding in all these hand traps. Because I want to draw a Ghost Reaper and an Ash Blossom, or a Ghost Reaper and a Ghost Bell, or something like that. And that's why I play the ratios like I do, is because you match your side deck to the meta that you think is going to be there. So mostly at my locals, the only deck that gives me trouble is Gogis and Altergeist and Paleo Frogs. So you'll see my side deck is kind of built towards doing that. What do Paleo Frogs not like? Well, Paleo Frogs do not play a lot of trap cards. So 3 red reboots. This will stop any trap based deck from going off if I have it in my hand, and I can OTK my opponent. So red reboot, stop their trap cards, and then OTK them. If I draw 2, then that gives me another turn to go off. So I can red reboot, and if I don't OTK them, I got another red reboot for next turn. And you can also, this is also something really good, is you can activate this from your hand. So spell trap removal or spell trap negation is really, really good with side decks. So a lot of people, other than red reboot, will also side 3 Twin Twisters. I don't side 3 Twin Twisters because I have to side so many hand traps to fight Gokis, but these are really good spell trap removal. Discard a card, destroy 2 cards on the field, it's a +0. It's really nice. So spell trap removal or negation or resetting or whatever is really good for your side deck, because if you're fighting a matchup like Ultra Guys where they set 5 pass, your standby phase, you want to have one of these so you can negate some of their, or destroy some of their floodgates or whatever they're using. And then also for like the Goki matchup, I have 3 Raw Sphere modes. These are probably going to be replaced with evenly matched because I never side these in because it eats your normal summon. But these could help you break a Goki Extra Link board by tributing 3 of their monsters. So it's all about combating the meta that you think you're going to fight, and also what your deck has trouble with. Let's say you're playing a deck like the True Draco Invoke deck that I deck profiled yesterday or the day before, depending on when this video goes out to other videos that I'm doing. Then you may have room in your extra deck. So for these cherries, these Ghost Reapers and Winter Cherries, you need a card in your extra deck. Well, all the cards that I'm going to Ghost Reaper for Gokis, I already play in my 6 Samurais because they're really good cards. So I don't need to side the cards I'm going to destroy with Ghost Reaper. But some decks, you do. So say you're using you're fighting, you fight this one ABC player who always beats you. And you don't have a big locals or whatever, or ABC gives you a problem, side an ABC Dragon Buster along with your Winter Cherries, or a Firewall, or 6 Samurais play number 86, or Zold, or Summon Sorceress, or Borreload, or Cyber Dragon Infinity. All these cards are cards that cause people problems. And so if your deck can't beat it, then side it in with Ghost Reapers, and then when you draw Ghost Reapers, you have something to activate it with. So these are really good cards for your side deck if you're playing that route, or if you know that your opponent will play any of these cards, or even like if you have a lot of Paleo Frog players. Well, side in Totally Awesome. That gets rid of one of their things with Ghost Reaper. And then the second last thing that you want to side in is if you're going first deck and then your opponent's going to want to go first, side in some Floodgates. So you got Anti-Spell, Skill Drain, Imperial Order. If you have a way to get rid of these during your turn, and you know that your opponent's going to have issues dealing with them or whatever, side them in. Who knows? They could be of use. And I know, like, Paleo Frog players, if you side in a Royal Decree, it's not going to help you the first turn, but when you go second, these could really help you. Or let's say you're a going first deck, siding in Floodgates, or you're going second deck. That's what I meant to say. Siding in Floodgates, if you're going first, that gives you the stopping power to help you go second for your third turn instead of going second for your first turn, if that makes sense. Other cards you can side in that will help you if you're going first and you're just trying to stall a little bit so you can get that going second feel FTK for your third turn. Solemn cards. These are really good cards to side in if you're going second deck and you have to go first, because these will negate your opponent's plays for them going second. It's always a really good card to have 3 Solemn Strikes, Solemn Warning, and Solemn Judgment. You're good. Now, the last kind of cards that you would want to side in if you're going to a tournament is cards that will help you win in time. So let's say there's 5 minutes left in the round. You're about to go into game 3. You're going first. You want to make sure that you have the best chance of winning. And 5 minutes may not be a long enough time for you to be able to get into your battle phase. My 6 Samurais, especially if you're going first, you won't have a battle phase. So my 6 Samurais, what I do is I can loop around with them. So I loop around for 5 minutes, wait for them to call time, and then when I was siding, I side in Gaga Cowboy. Because it's really easy for me to get 2 level 4s, summon this guy in defense mode, burn him for 800, I win the game. Some other people will use like Sparks or Uzaki, I think was the card, or Firecracker, which is a monster you can discard from your hand to deal 1,000 points of damage. Whoa, I just hit my camera right there. And these are cards that you want to use in time. And so they don't come up all the time. My 6 Samurai deck doesn't go into time very often, so I don't side Gaga Cowboy anymore. But you want to side cards like that, so when you go into time, you can actually win rather than leaving it to chance and getting a draw or something. But yeah, so that's kind of like my basis around side decking is you have to base it around the meta you're going to play. So like if we start going to a slower format that doesn't use Firewall, or Firewall gets banned and people aren't using Summon Sorceress or some other thing, I probably won't side Ghost Reaper. Or if a deck like True Draco comes back where it's not a side deck heavy, or not a side deck, a extra deck heavy format, I'm not going to side Ghost Reaper. I'm going to side Evenly Matched, or I'm going to side something, Twin Twisters if it's back row heavy, something like that, to where they just, it goes around the meta and picks up where your deck kind of suffers. Game 1, you should always win. Your deck should be built around winning game 1, whether you're going first, whether you're going second, whatever. Your deck should be built to win game 1. It's 2 and 3 that is the hard part, because your opponent is going to side against your deck. And so you have to not only side against your opponent's deck, you have to side against their side, which is where I get really beat with one of my people in my locals, because he sides in Gammas. So he can negate my hand trap, he can negate my monster effects, that sort of thing. And Call by the Grave doesn't work with that, or a Ghost Spell doesn't work with that. So you gotta know what people are gonna do and assume what people are gonna do, so you can side, you can build your deck to that. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.